Hey everyone, hope things are going well. As you can see, a lot of things in the garden have sprouted. The month of June has been very busy and I haven't been able to post any updates on how the garden is doing. I thought for this video we would go over how my pollinator garden is doing as part of the Butterfly Way project. And also a big thank you to the Hamilton Naturalist Club who donated tons of plants that we requested for our gardens. Anyways, let's go take a look at how the flower bed is doing, and then I'm going to show you some of the wholesale order plants that came in that I'm excited to plant and or give away. So here is the little pollinator garden that I've created, and also our little sign. As you can see, everything is wrapped and protected by some chicken wire just because we are along the sidewalk. So I don't want any dogs or animals to go through and destroy these plants. So I'm just going to go over some of the plants that are here. So as you can see down here, we have some world milkweed. I have some chopsticks as place markers for plants that I'll be planting soon. Aleatris, lots of New England asters. I might have planted them a little too close, but we'll see how they do. You can see a little Columbine. We have some milkweed up in there. We have some black-eyed Susans. These are nativars. I think these are the Goldstrom variety. Some more Columbine. I have two swamp milkweed over here that I purchased. I didn't winter sow those. And then scattered, I have a lot of bluestem goldenrod and then also some woodland asters that are planted in there. I got a clearance bone set plant there. Looks like it's about ready to flower. And then as we continue on, I divided some purple coneflower, lots of bluestem goldenrod. Behind there we have some sweet Joe Pye weed, still very small. I think some earwigs got to them. And then you can see behind the chicken wire, I have tons of weeds there. I think they're creeping bluebells or something. Have to clean those up at some point. Here is another purple coneflower right there. And then as we move over here, we have some poke milkweed, which is good for the shade. We have some hairy woodmint. We have one Canada anemone, and then some more place markers for more plants that I'll be planting. So this bed, as you can see, is half under a tree canopy. So these two sections are unfortunately in the shade for part of the day, and then as we progress towards the driveway, it actually does get sunnier over there. So let's head back in and we'll go over the plants that I have got. Alright, so here are my plants from my wholesale order. Unfortunately, I am missing two varieties of plants. So I'm missing some nodding onion and also some Christmas ferns. But here are the 83 of the plants that I have. So with native plants, usually when you buy them in the nursery, they are seedlings just because it's easier to transplant those. So they don't look like much this year, but they will get better and better as the years progress. So we'll quickly go over some of these plants. So we'll start off, with our ferns. So this is our Bladder berry fern. So these ferns, as with most ferns, are good for the shade. What's cool with these ones is they create little bulbs, usually on the undersides of the leaves. And then those little bulbs, as they touch the soil, will create new plants. So really good as a ground cover. Behind we have some Maidenhair ferns. Some of these leaves look a little sunburnt. So very airy plants to create that woodland feel in your garden. So again, good for that shady spot. You just have to make sure that your soil is able to stay fairly moist. Over here, we have some Columbine seedlings. So these are our wild Columbine, so they flower red. So I got 10 of those. So Columbine are pretty good for any sun or light location. So they can handle sunny spots, part shade, shady locations. So I'll be putting these in some part shade areas. Behind that, over here, we have some bush honeysuckle. So these are really good because they do sucker, so they'll spread slightly and they get nice foliage color change towards the fall. As we continue on, we have here some seedlings of, let me double check, Foxglove Beard-tongue. So these are a little bit taller as penstemon. These will flower white, and I think they get around 3 to 4 feet tall. So they flower a little bit later compared to our hairy beard-tongue. These ones flower purple. They're a little shorter. And yeah, as we move up, we have some, what is this one? Pale purple coneflower. So these ones obviously won't be flowering this year because they're seedlings. So with pale purple coneflower, these ones are the native variety that you find in Ontario. Compared to the regular purple coneflower that you normally see in nurseries, these ones, their flowers look a little bit more stringier. So something cool to take a look at. Tucked in here, we have some native clematis, or virgin's bower. So a very fast-growing clematis that flowers white in the fall. Behind that, we have some Zig-zag Goldenrod. So a native goldenrod that's really good for the shade. It does spread a little bit, but nowhere as badly as Canada Goldenrod. Down here we have some spotted Beebalm. It looks a little messy right now. So spotted Beebalm is a good plant for the bees. This one I think gets about 2 feet tall. I did read that they're fairly short-lived, so I'm hoping that they'll be able to spread or self-seed to sustain themselves. I also have some more Canada Anemone, so good for a lot of light conditions. I'll be putting this in some part shade, so these do spread around quite a bit, so a nice ground cover. Behind that we have some mountain mint. So this one will spread as well, good for the bees. This one gets a little taller than the spotted Beebalm, and this one will flower white. As we continue on to the last tray of plants, we have some Prairie Smoke plants here. So these ones have little red flowers, and then after that they get kind of white fluffy seed pod heads that kind of remind you of like little dandelion seed pods, but they look a little wispier. So very pretty. And then behind that we have some wild geranium. So again, similar to our wild Columbine, good for a lot of light conditions. So this will be going in some part shade garden areas. Anyways, that is a quick overview of the plants that I got. Anyway, so that's it for this video. Hopefully I inspired you to take a look at planting some native plants in your own garden. They do benefit our ecosystem so much by providing food and shelter for a lot of our critters. Anyways, take care and we'll see you later. Bye.